Good morning, guys. I just came here into the office with Mark,
I just got out of bed. It feels like it.
the broker.
I'm ready for the day.
So what are we doing today?
Today is day 2 of Condo Metropolis inspections. We're going to be doing all of the properties in and around Metro West. So I would say the reason the inspections are important for us is that 90% of our owners live out of state and most actually live out of the country. So we are quite literally their eyes and ears on the ground. They don't have anybody else to keep an eye on their property. So part of what we do as property managers, apart from putting in good tenants and collecting rent, is we inspect twice a year to try to make sure that the place is being kept in good condition by the tenants. It's always shocking to me the way some people choose to live. You get to see a lot in this business. Some people keep the place really nice, which is the way we would like to see it, but a lot of people unfortunately do need some guidance when it comes to the way that they're living. My main concern, of course, is not whether they choose to be messy, and if they want their laundry all over the floor, that's their business. But my concern is mainly about the infrastructure, you know, the fabric of the interior. So I'm talking about the carpets, the paintwork, and I want to make sure that that's not being damaged, that the window blinds are in good condition, that they're taking care of their air conditioner, that kind of thing. If they live messily, that's fine. It does tip over into a problem when they get messy in the kitchen and there's dishes everywhere in the sink, and then we have a roach problem or a pest problem, and then again we have to intervene in that case too.
And that's pretty common.
Yeah, I mean, we live in Florida, right? So we've got roaches, we got snakes, we got bats, we've got alligators. You know, you name it, it's here. And fortunately, we don't get too many alligators inside the units. Oh, we have had a few in swimming pools, so that happens. And we've got possums, and what are those little black and white things?
The raccoons.
Raccoons. I mean, it's amazing. And then, of course, just regular squirrels and stuff.
Even yesterday, there was a tenant with a snake.
Oh yeah, the snake. Yeah, they get in through snakes get in through everywhere. I mean, it's pretty crazy, actually. I had bats in one of my houses once, in the roof, and I would be watching TV at night, and suddenly they would be flying around your head. And we had to take the whole roof down in that case. So there's a lot to look out for here. And if a lot of companies don't do inspections, and if you don't, you just don't know what's going on inside that unit. I mean, there's the things that we've just spoken about, but we also have things like pets that aren't supposed to be there. We've got tenants that are unauthorized that aren't supposed to be there. We've got people doing AirBnB that's not permitted. So there's a lot of stuff going on that we need to sort of look out for. Even had stripper poles in the living rooms before. So, I mean, people do...
Is that legal?
It's legal. I'd rather they didn't. But yeah, you know, that's running a business, right? You're not supposed to be running a business inside of your thing either. So, you know, we've never had any meth labs, fortunately, but you know, people are doing all kinds of things in this gig economy, and our responsibility is to try to make sure that that's, you know, if it's not supposed to be happening, that it's not happening. I really have to protect the interests of my owners, you know, as well as the tenants.
All right, guys. So it's gonna be a tour of today and everything that we're gonna be doing. So I want to be showing you guys a little bit of our day.
At least we got into this place. Security guard wouldn't let us in the last one. It's not too bad. I'll check that he has filter. So one of the things I'm looking at in this place is there seems to be the possibility of unauthorized occupants. There's a huge blow-up bed in the living room, and then there's a mattress stacked against the wall in one of the bedrooms, plus 2 other beds. So there's just beds everywhere here. So I'm just kind of wondering who's on the lease, who's supposed to be here, who's visiting. Yeah, so we'll go figure it out.
And plus the pest control guy said.
Just alright, so
and then the AC thing is okay, you said, yeah. Right? But I think it's
a little dirty.
It's the wrong size as well. So little things like that.
Yeah, let's see what we can
Yeah, so what you guys saw behind the fridge, that's an infestation of roaches. They just the tenant or the person over here has been having for months, I'll say, and it's not a good pleasure to look at it, but I know it's really bad, and it's something that people they don't really take that as a, I don't know, living with roaches is just something that is sad on the mind.
Yeah.
We'll take care of it. We're going to have to come back at least, 2 or 3 more times probably to take care of this. And they seem to be aware of it, but they don't seem to care that much. So. But this is why we do this, because they may not care, but we do. So we've got to fix the problem. Here we are, Serenata.
This place looks pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a nice community actually. They've got a nice selection. They've got townhomes and condos. 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. This one that we're going to now, one time we came here and they were, the tenants were actually breeding pit bulls on the patio.
Oh.
And we heard the barking on the outside and nobody was home, so we went in, and then there was a mom out there in a cage and like four pit bulls that were they were going crazy. We actually had to evict them.
Because they were doing that?
Huh?
Because they were breeding them?
Yeah, they were actually breeding them and they were mistreating them too, they weren't treating
This
them.
place looks kind of abandoned.
It's quiet today. This is one of the newer communities too, so this is an interesting place because it was built as, condos. It wasn't a conversion like most of the others around Metro West.
Mark is going to knock on the door.
This is Bermuda Dunes, one of my favorite properties. They just repainted the doors. The whole place has been fixed up in the last couple of years. So. Good morning. How are you?
Hi. How you doing?
Pest control,
Okay,
inspections. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right. This is one of my favorite tenants because he keeps the place clean and tidy and nice. So there's never anything for us to do here. So if you're the owner of this unit, you're lucky to have a good tenant. So we'll just take a quick look at the AC and look for the fire extinguisher. And we'll be out. You haven't seen any roaches, right?
No roaches. It's been pretty good.
All right, okay, I can do the thing.
So right here, just checking if it's on the green. All right, guys, so that property had no roaches and had really good air filter, fire extinguisher working, everything was good, tenant was there. Mark and I and the pest control guy found nothing wrong with it. On to the next.
I just wanted to see. Hello. Oh, is that Mrs. Rodriguez? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't hear you in there.
Wait a minute, why are you in my house?
It's okay, it's just property management, just doing our inspections. We knocked, but nobody answered.
Wait.
It's okay, don't worry.
No, come on, stay right there.
And we'll just stay here, okay.
Tell me you were coming in today. No one called.
Well, we sent an email, but it was about 2 weeks ago.
No. And I'm in the room naked, sleeping, sick.
I know, I
They
didn't
don't
know.
expect you, so I could be at my top of
We
my game.
banged a lot, but no, it's all right. We love you. Sorry
so
about
sorry.
you. No, it's okay. Take care of yourself. Get well soon. Bye. Stop getting to lock up. I'll lock it for you.
All right, guys, so that's a wrap. Today was a interesting but great day. We did about 17 properties today.
Some difficult ones. One of them was probably the dirtiest, stinkiest, nastiest. We're gonna have to go back because it's just not okay the way some people live. But that's why we're doing this.
We saw some interesting things that renters have in their homes. And yeah, it was great. Saw a lot of roaches. If you guys need help, pest control guy. And I'll see you guys later.
That was an interesting day.
How many properties did you see today?
Today, what did we do? I think we did about another 20 today. Today was a little bit more driving, going from place to place. Everything wasn't as concentrated as it was yesterday.
Any stories to tell?
Yeah, lots, too many. This just reminds me why we do this, because it's just, I do this every year, twice a year for the past 15 years, and I find myself never getting used to the way people live and the things that they do. It's just, it blows my mind every time. It's just crazy. Yeah, I mean, that safety for one thing, right? For our safety, just you can knock and bang and scream and you eventually let yourself in, and there are people there sleeping or in the showers, they don't hear you. It's kind of dangerous in some ways. So
Yeah.
making your presence known as you enter is not as easy as it sounds, right? We make a lot of noise when we go in, and still people just pop out of nowhere and like, how'd you get in my house? And it's like, well,
How is the life of a property manager today
in general,
for you?
I mean, it's with the rents going up, it's rough because the tenants are all, we have tenants in our office crying that they can't afford the rent anymore. Florida is it's not a wealthy state for the most part. At least, Orlando isn't. South Florida is wealthier, but people here, they do Disney jobs and bar jobs, and they work, 2 jobs sometimes to pay rent. And now the rents are turning into like New York style, Miami style rents. So it's not tenable for our population. I don't know what we're going to do if things, thankfully I think things have leveled off now. We'll see what happens, but.
Yeah. What do you think will be one of the worst properties you saw today?
Yeah, I think the worst ones that I see typically are roommate situations, which is why I don't like them, because there's a sort of a diffusion of responsibility where the folk that are living together just come and go. Maybe they're friends, maybe they're not, they might be colleagues or acquaintances, but nobody seems to take responsibility for cleaning. Whose responsibility is it to vacuum once a week, to empty the trash, to not live like a bunch of teenagers? And I don't like those applications even when they come in and I see that situation, because I know they just don't take care of the place like a couple would. So, but again, that's why we do it. I'm very happy in a way, because I see some things that need to be addressed, and that's why we do it, so that we can take care of these situations on behalf of our owners, because they're not here and they just don't have the ability to go and look at their own properties. So if we don't do it, no one's doing it. Now starts the hard work, right? The follow-up now is I got to spend the next week or so going through all of the pictures and the notes and figuring out, who do we need to revisit next month? Who needs to do this? Who needs to do that? What maintenance items came up that need to be addressed? So this is just paving the way for a lot more work in a way, but it's just one of those things that we have to do.
What kind of tips can you give renters today to get ready for like an inspection?
Well, I would like to think they would have enough just respect to tidy up before we get there. If my property manager called me and said, hey, I'm coming next week to do an inspection, I would make sure that I picked up my house at the minimum, and it just blows my mind that they know you're coming and they don't even pick up. They don't seem to care, So I would say, if you want your lease renewed, why don't you show me that you're a worthy tenant? Pick up. When you know I'm coming. You want me to renew the lease? You don't want your rent to go up? Be a good tenant, and show that you're worth it. Otherwise, I might as well find somebody else. And I'm not a harsh landlord or a harsh property manager by any means, but come on, make an effort. That's all really that I'm asking for, is that they take care of the property, keep it sanitary, report maintenance that needs doing, and we'll all get along, But we don't want to be slumlords.
Anything else you want to say?
No, I'm tired. I had enough. I'm ready to go home. Oh, it's so cute. He's very slow, huh?
That's slow.
It looks like it was just born.
A couple of days.
Oh, cutie.
Yeah, cutie.